Okay, so we have to backtrack one last time to that area to get this whole string of events done. I mean, sometimes, most of the time, backtracking can be very, very annoying. But in this game, it's not too obnoxious, but still it is rather obnoxious, especially for these string of events. So yeah, the dwarves caught him and now he's back in prison. We were one step ahead of you there, buddy. So treasures from the mansion, that's another event to trigger right there. And he goes off to sleep. Alright, so keep him in mind. We're not completely done with our great self-proclaimed world's greatest thief yet. But as I said, that's going to be much later in the game. But at least we're done with all that backtracking for the time being. I mean, as I said, it's not too obnoxious, but having to do that so many times. I mean, at least it's not RPG game level backtracking or, say, like backtracking in the original Crash Bandicoot games. Especially Crash Bandicoot 2, since that can be... I mean, it's not too bothersome now in terms of me whenever I play Crash Bandicoot 2 with the backtracking, but man, some of those... Ow! Some of those levels that require to do all that backtracking can still be rather annoying. Okay, so you see this fire right here? This is where we use the whole bucket of water. Put out the fire and grab this baked yam. And again, we have to do... I think this should be the last bit of backtracking to the dwarf village. I forgot to do this earlier, so I might as well go and get that out of the way. So toss this dwarf right here. Give her the baked yam. So, oh boy. Something's happening. Uh-oh, pull my finger. You know what that means. Fart time! Ugh! P.U. Someone had to pass the gas for eating all that. So, now she gives us yet another Vitality Max +1. So now we got 6 health. Not too bad. Alright, that should be... not just yet, actually. There's another area that I can go into. I'm going to go ahead and take care of what I can in that little area. And I could go back to the Village of All Beginnings to get that AP box that I triggered earlier. But I can always do that later. So now that the guards are gone, we can explore this area. This here is the Charity Square. If we go up here, this is where we actually need the leaf butterflies for, but we can't complete it just yet. I don't know why we can't complete it at this point, but hold on, here's Jan. So yeah, we found Jan one time. As I was saying, I don't understand why we can't get that quest done already, but well, actually I kind of do understand. But there's one last thing. Oh yeah, I can't get past him. Well, actually, why we can't get past him, I'll go and show that off. He says that the leaf slider is behind him, and he claims that it's dangerous. So that's a little hint of what he wants you to do. Crying won't get you anywhere. That is going to be a little hint on what he wants. He's just giving you as a dead giveaway, but if you go over here, we get 2 charity wings and we see the broken fountain. So a lot of these that to take in, especially so early in the game. And unfortunately, we have to wait until much, much later, pretty close to endgame, to where we can get a lot of these done, actually. As I was saying on why we can't get that quest done, is that it actually sends us into a into an area that's much farther in the game, so that's one reason why we can't get that. A little attention to detail, actually, on why we can't get that quest done. So, but the thing is that he requires to have a certain amount of leaf butterflies to get that done, and unfortunately, we can't get the rest in the 100 Flower Forest. We have to wait until much later to get the rest. That's another weird thing, but oh well. Anyway, here we are in the next area, the Mushroom Forest. So we gotta talk to this dwarf right over here. So he says that right behind him is Stormy Mountain. So he's standing guard and he wants to practice on becoming an actor. So he wants to make people laugh and cry. So he needs something that can really just demonstrate how he can express laughter and crying. So here in the Mushroom Forest, we can obviously do quite a bit more stuff here. You have to really try and be careful and not fall down here. Because obviously there's just a lot of bottomless pits here in the Mushroom Forest. But actually, as a matter of fact, since he... Oh, well, no problem. But anyway, as you saw right there, those mushrooms right there will obviously make the flowers and Tomba, if he eats a specific mushroom, either make him laugh or cry. But since we ate the mushroom that makes him cry, or excuse me, makes him laugh, I'm sorry, we can go back into the dwarf and get the laughing event done. And it's just so adorable watching Tomba smile. So now we got that done. He says he still needs one last thing. Now he needs to know how to cry. So now, we just gotta eat the brown colored mushroom, which is the one I actually ate earlier. Before the laughing one. Here's one right here. And now Tomba's crying. Aww. So now we just gotta go back over here and cry right in front of the dwarf. So that's basically all there is to it. A lot of these events are so quick to get done and so simple to do. Alright, so now we'll be able to have free passage into Phoenix Mountain. And he points out that the Dwarf Elder is up ahead. But we're not going to go there just yet. I need to cure myself of this crying. Yeah, I want to be careful here. Actually, I want to eat a laughing mushroom. Because if the thing is, if Tomba happens to move while he's crying, he moves forward, and I don't want that to screw that up for me. Meanwhile, while Tomba laughs, he'll be completely stationary, so that won't screw me up. So we get an extra life here. But I obviously want to grab a healing mushroom here. So you can use a healing mushroom to heal any laughter or crying status that you have on you. So I want to get that done. So now I can head over here in the background. And we got these little creatures here. These are called the Basunji. The Basunji. So what I'm going to want to do here is I want to make, make one blind and then grab the other one. And while that one's blind, I can make them hit each other. I got to do that a total of 3 times. So I got to do that one more time. Blind one. Where's the other? Here it is. And bam! Monster hunt done. And that's what makes him drop the Rise and Shine powder. Open this chest for more charity wings. And actually, what I should have done is I should have got Tomba back in the crying state to get one last event done. But I'll go grab another sad shroom. Open that chest for 20,000 adventure points. So what I really want to do is I want to get 150,000 adventure points. Because that's what that AP box that we just passed earlier is for. So I'm going to... actually, I can always come back here. So I'm going to go back in the crying state. And then head back to that door from the charity square. See right there? Even as you're moving, sometimes Tomba will either break into his laughter or crying. And since he was crying there, I moved forward. So I didn't want that to mess me up. Especially exploring an area where there are a lot of bottomless pits like the Mushroom Forest. I don't actually want that to screw me up. I mean, but then again, what does it matter since I have the rewind function for this version of the game? Still, I'm trying to resort to not using it. And what was I doing? I just went right past the... Well, I guess I could have just taken the other area, which was called the Wobbly Wharf, which was the bridge area to get to the charity square. But what does it matter? It's not that far actually. Anyway, so we're back here at the charity square. Yeah, it's just so adorable watching him go through that. Okay, so now that we have Tomba crying, now the guard will let us through. As he said, crying won't get you anywhere, as he said earlier, is a dead giveaway on what he wants you to do. So here's our third crystal ball. We got that done. 2000 AP. So now we can take the leaf slider. Now we got the blue powder. What the blue powder for, you might ask? Well, I'll show that off here in just a second. Red plus blue equals what? Well, that's purple, right? I mean, there's a purple mushroom right here. See that AP box over there? I should be able to open that if I get done with this. Because I can get done with that red plus blue event. Equals what event? But, oh, this camera. That camera. Good thing I can kind of mess with that if I were to push down when I'm about to enter the foreground. I want to go into the laughing state. As I said, the laughing one will screw me up. So now we can put that blue powder to use. Put a blue powder on one of these flowers here. Great. Hopefully another flower should sprout. Hopefully. Yeah, good. Make the blue and the red flower hit each other, and you'll see a big brown mushroom come out of it. What's that mushroom, you may ask? Grab the mushroom and... Oh, okay. That's, Oh. Never mind then. That is just weird. I've never seen that done. Okay, so we got that red plus blue equals black and gray Tomba. So we got that event done, and now I got 150,000 adventure points. So now I can go back here into the foreground, into the background, go over to that AP box, because that requires 150,000 adventure points to open. Right here. And we got the AP box event done too. So now we got the ordinary mushroom. So the ordinary mushroom is a very useful item. What that does is since I'm in the laughing state, I can use the ordinary mushroom to cure myself out of it. And you can use this as many times as you want, which is what's very useful about it. So if you're ever in the laughing or crying state, you can just use that to cure yourself. Right there. So there's one. I want to go and grab one more healing mushroom because I'm gonna need that for a quest later on. There I go again, quest event. I'm gonna need one for an event later on. So here's a healing mushroom. So I'm gonna go and grab that. Excuse me. Oh! And I died. Well, actually, I'll make an exception. I'll make an exception to that one time, because I don't want to lose that. So, unfortunately, there I go. So, yeah, if you ever find yourself dying, you can just use the rewind function. So, I'll show that off just that once. Hopefully, that'll be the only time I get to use that. So, that's all I can do for now. Let's head over to Phoenix Mountain. And that's actually a good place to stop. So, but luckily I can save here pretty soon. Did you feel that? Well, you know, just the way he's talking, it just seems like since Phoenix Mountain is under a stormy spell, it kind of feels like it's, you know, just by looking at it, it's as if he's blowing in the wind, but he's not. That's just his body moving, and, you know, body moving from talking. So luckily, yeah, as I said, luckily here's a save point right here, but unfortunately we're running into these little critters right here. So they're pointing out the jungle and giant birds. So again, more stuff to, yeah, the Phoenix is what it's called. So the jungle is obviously another area that we can go to later in the game. So that's going to be much later. Well, duh, because it's stormy. So obviously you're going to want to run for cover. Unfortunately, I cannot get down from this mountain, and I'm getting pulled by the storm, so luckily it's a good place to save. Already got quite a bit done there. So go ahead. So yeah, I need to kind of catch my breath here before going into the mountain.